working with Blue Zones for 2 years now in creating a retreat product that's like an immersion on Blue Zones lifestyle. So for people who don't know Blue Zones, it's like Blue Zones first are areas in the world where people live the longest. So where there's a high concentration of centenarians. And these areas are located in Sardinia, in Ikaria, Greece, Sardinia, Italy, sorry, in Okinawa, in Japan, in Loma Linda in California, in the US, and in Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica. And it started with the explorations of these areas. And then from this exploration, Dan Whitner, who was the explorer, started to, like, he brought a team of researchers and scientists with him. And they found out that these places actually, like, it's not genetics really that define that they're living longer, it's their lifestyle. And they found, like, even if these places were spread out around the world, they found similarities in the core values and their core lifestyle. And so I thought, okay, like, how do we use these lifestyle principles and implement them into US cities? It's from the US. And so that.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Social Hotelier Show with me, Sam-Erik Ruttmann, where we explore the intersection of hospitality, humanity, and technology. Today, we are diving deep into the transformative world of wellness with a trailblazer in the industry, Celine Vadam. Celine is the founder of WeThink, a forward-thinking consultancy dedicated to wellness, environment, and innovation. With a wealth of experience spanning global collaborations, luxury wellness retreats, and groundbreaking sustainability initiatives, Celine has redefined how we think about well-being in the hospitality sector. From working with prestigious wellness brands to spearheading Blue Zone-inspired retreats, she's at the forefront of shaping the experiences that nourish the body, mind, and planet. In this episode, we'll uncover Celine's journey, her passion for meaningful collaborations, and her vision for the future of wellness in hospitality. From integrating certifications like WELL to crafting interesting collaborations with health experts, Celine will share insights that are inspiring as they are actionable. So whether you're a hotelier, wellness enthusiast, or someone curious about creating spaces that foster true well-being, this is an episode you won't want to miss. Welcome, Celine. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Sam-Erik, for having me.
Well, we have had few of these episodes in the past, and I'm always intrigued about the new information you are sharing, because you're really living the wellness trend and also what is going on in the demand and the hot buttons of wellness. And I'm particularly realizing that you've been traveling so much during this year, and I would really like to learn a little bit about what has your year been like and how does it relate to the different retreats you are doing?
Yeah, I traveled a lot today. I literally did went around the globe, like literally. Like I started like in Azores in Portugal, went all the way to Asia, the US, and then came back to Greece, Italy, UK, and back to Portugal. So it was like literally around the world. And my year's been good. Thank you for asking. It's been a very interesting year because with WeThink, I'm working on hotel development projects, like wellness concept for new hotel development and also renovations. And we've just opened the Four Seasons in Rabat, Morocco. So I worked on the wellness concept for that hotel, and it's quite interesting how things comes back around, because that's one of the first projects I worked on when I was working with Four Seasons in development. So it was very cool to work on it again, this time as a consultant. And now going there a few months ago to see it finally open. So I really followed the full process on this project. So it's always very exciting. And the spa is really wonderful. So I'm very excited for people to see it. And then we launched with Blue Zones retreats. So I've been working with Blue Zones for 2 years now in creating a retreats product that's like an immersion on Blue Zones lifestyle. So for people who don't know Blue Zones, it's like blue zones first are areas in the world where people live the longest, so where there's a high concentration of centenarians. And these areas are located in Sardinia, in Ikaria, Greece, Sardinia, Italy, sorry, in Okinawa, in Japan, in Loma Linda in California, in the US, and in Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica. And it started with the explorations of these areas. And then from this exploration, Dan Whitner, who was the explorer, started to, like, he brought a team of researchers and scientists with him. And they found out that these places actually, like, it's not genetics really that define that we are living longer, it's their lifestyle. And they found, like, even if these places were spread out around the world, they found similarities in the core values and their core lifestyle. And so I thought, okay, like, how do we use these lifestyle principles and implement them into US cities? It's from the US. And so that's what we've been doing for like around 20 years, through books, through like a Netflix documentary that was released last year, and also through like work in like more than 70 communities in the US. And the idea was to make it accessible in a different way, like in a different format, to places around the world. And that's how like Blue Zones retreats came to life. So the idea was to put together the content and the lifestyle principles from the Blue Zones Power 9 principle and the Blue Zones research, and turn it into like a lifestyle coaching retreat. So yeah, and it's really that. It's really like, it's not a lecture. I'm not sitting people down with PowerPoint to, like give them like numbers, and it's really like a lifestyle coaching. We have like exercises, sharing, journaling, and we have some activities. So every retreat is different depending on the location, because we are doing like activities, local activities. Like in Costa Rica, we went to visit a huerta. It's a local farm, and we had the grandmother, the abuela, doing tortillas and making us breakfast. We had some treks in the jungle. In Okinawa, we did some Okinawan karate. We did a cooking class, like in the local market. We went to, we had like, we made this like grandmother she's got, I don't know, like so many flowers that she's growing in her garden. And she's like infusing them in oil. And like she was there with like 50 bottles of the oil infused flowers with to make like some body oil. And she's starting going to the gym because she's using like spring water for her flowers. And she was getting, because she's getting older, she was getting a bit weaker, and she couldn't carry like the gallons she was like carrying to get the spring water. So she started going to the gym to lift weight to be able to carry these gallons. So I found this story super interesting. So it's also about meeting people, meeting local people, and really connecting with the location and
Well,
the
that's
Blue Zones principles. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's really. I have, of course, followed you when you travel, and I always write the messages. I really envy you, and I wish I would be there doing an episode with you wherever you are, because what you're now describing, some of these places that you're visiting, Costa Rica and in Japan and so forth. I mean, those are very interesting things for even one not being in a wellness enthusiast, but just simply for the curiosity and to learn something new about how people are living in a different place. But that's really nice things to see. When I ask people, have you heard of Blue Zone? I think there is just about everyone has heard about Blue Zone, and because it caught on in the media, and also thanks to the streaming of or the miniseries on Netflix, it became very, very popular. And then I said, oh, now Celine is doing this. I'm really envying her now that she has really the chance, and admiring that it fits into what you're doing in terms of wellness. And the people who are joining these wellness retreats, are they the similar people, or is it almost like a same group who's going from place to place, or are they just different every time?
So we only done like a couple so far,
Yeah.
but we actually have like people who came to a retreat in. So we did four. We did Costa Rica, Okinawa, so Japan, and we did two with Modern Elder Academy, one in Santa Fe and one in Mexico. And
Okay.
but we had demand actually, like some participant from Japan wants to come to the one we're doing next year, well, in 2025 in Thailand, and someone from Santa Fe wants to go to Costa Rica. So I think that as we grow the product and we have more location, we will have more returning guests, because it's always like, at the end of the day, what I always say is that the Blue Zone's lifestyle principles are not complicated, but they are impactful, and they are also like flexible enough to be interpreted how you want to. And like, there's a principle of moving naturally. So in Okinawa, it's a lot of gardening. In Costa Rica, it's like riding your horse. In like, depending on the place, downshifting, the same. The principle of like relaxing and taking some downtime, and that could be like meditation or gardening again, or taking a walk, or doing some arts and crafts, or dancing. Or so there are so many different ways to integrate these principles, and that's really what we're doing with the participants when we are doing these Blue Zones modules, is reflecting together, like taking this time actually to reflect together on how would that look like into your life. Like,
Hmm.
downshifting can be actually is a really simple one, and everybody agrees that stress is bad and we need to slow down. And but it's actually very triggering for people to put it down, and say, okay, like, I'm committed to downshift by doing this thing, like every day or every week. It's a very triggering one, especially in North America. That's also something interesting to see, like, what are the different, like, health and wellness or lifestyle preoccupation in the different areas of the world, and like what principles are more like triggering for like people. It's quite
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah. So, in one way, this is also about the place for self-discovery. And what
Mhm.
have you noticed? I mean, just
Totally.
can you give some examples what you have noticed in people now? When you see them for the first time and then they are in the program, do you sense that there's a self-discovery element, and how they react to something that they haven't seen before or experienced before?
Totally. And I think that these principles are not new, but are not new to people, especially people who are familiar with the Blue Zones. But what's new and impactful is really like taking the time to reflect on them, and doing so like in an environment where you are really like cocoon in these hotels. You are like immersed in the Blue Zones lifestyle, and like you are supported by other people who also want to make lifestyle changes, who wants to be more present for their families and loved ones, who wants to take better care of themselves and their health. So you're in this really um, like closed environment, this container where you really are supported. And that's sometimes, like something that's something that makes the difference, because sometimes you have people who wants to like implement lifestyle changes, but it's very hard for them to find support at home, or like in their friends group, or in their work environment, to make these changes, because you changing means, like it can be triggering to other people. Like, are you're doing that? I'm not doing it. Like, like, does it make me bad not doing it? Or like, and so like sometimes the difficult part for like starting like lifestyle changes is your environment, your physical environment, your emotional environment, your support system. And so like this really helps put all these different aspects into perspective. And we also start by a basic assessment to see like where people are in each areas, like in each lifestyle principles of the blue zones. So then you can fine tune, like where do you want to, or like what do you want to work on first.
Yeah, yeah. But also, I can imagine it also has a sense of responsibility to the team and yourself who are running these retreats, because you have somebody who might be in a very, very vulnerable state, and there's self-discovery and how you can support them, and also to help the other people to support that person so they are they are in a safe place.
Exactly. And I really love seeing that, like seeing the group, because I see it like day after day, like seeing the group like structure and like get tied together, and also people like, like opening up and like really like blossoming and glowing like day after day. Like it's really like I think we should take one picture, like when people arrive and when they leave, because it's really, you really see it on their faces, on, yeah, you can really feel it and see it. And everybody is like hugging each other towards the end. So it's like a short period of time, but it goes really deep and personal. And I'm really happy when I have like participants telling me that like they still in contact together. They organize a WhatsApp group and they call each other. They have a group call every week. And so it's very like very powerful. It's working.
Wonderful,
It's
wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that, and I think the audience will resonate to
good.
what you are saying. So just sort of taking it in one step into the direction of how do you see the concept of these blue zone retreats aligning with the demands of wellness travelers? Because I think there has been over the years where people have been traveling for wellness, I mean, for centuries. So there's nothing new about it. But if you're looking at the modern stressful life people have, the mental issues and so on, how do you see these retreats aligning with what the people need today when they go to these retreats?
I think that the Blue Zones retreats, like compared to other, like today, like the retreat sector is very fragmented, and like it's really like all over the place. There's everything everywhere. It's hard also to find, unless you really know the instructor, to know like what's the quality of the content you're gonna have, what's the quality of the instruction. And I have to say, like the number of followers on Instagram doesn't guarantee a good quality retreat. And it's different to have people for a class, like a 1 hour class, even if it's every day, versus having like leading a group of people through like transformational changes and through like a structured program. And so I think like first, one of the big like advantage and alignment to the current market that Blue Zones Retreats has is that all the content is backed up by these 20 years of research from by scientists and researchers, and it's research on lifestyle, on longevity. So all these, so you have the like scientific backup from all of this in the program. So that's really like people want to, like there's so much content out there, like it's hard to know what's true, what's not true. So you already have you already have this certification of that, like the scientific like background. And
Yeah.
then you also have you also have the fact that we select carefully also the venues where we are doing the retreat. So we are working with properties that will reflect the Blue Zone's lifestyle and environment. Really wonderful people. Like the properties we worked with are really, yeah, really amazing. In both Costa Rica and Okinawa, actually, the employees are amazing, and the it was funny, like in Nicoya in Costa Rica, like to talk with the employees, and they were saying, yeah, actually my grandpa is 103, and in my village like 10 people are more than 100 years old. And so they also really, like, you're really immersed in the Blue Zone location. And similar in Okinawa as well, like when you go to these places, you really, it's hard to explain, but you really feel like, okay, like I get, like the that this atmosphere is really like fostering people's well-being.
Wonderful.
And I think also, like, another way it aligns is that it's not, you go on holidays, you want to learn, you want to, yes, like, um, make lifestyle changes, or like do something for your health and wellness. But you, during the retreats, you also do some sightseeing, and you learn about the place and the culture and the people. You have this authentic side, like, like meeting with the local people. You also have like the fact that you meet like-minded people. So it's a group of people that you might not see after the retreat, but lots of chances are that you're gonna like each other and keep in touch, so making new friends. um, and it's not restrictive, so we're not putting you on a diet. The food is absolutely delicious that we're eating. It's not like we're not doing intense workouts, so it's still a holiday. Like some of the places, like of the wellness retreat, some of them are more like hardcore, and so it can be like very restrictive. It's very results oriented. You need to lose X number of kilos, or you need to put on a diet, or you have a series of exams that you, or like checkups to do. Or so this is not that. Like this is more like a softer version. And we also like it's also things that you can take home. So it's not like the quick fix retreat that you do for 1 week. And it's more like that's also why I think we're going to have more and more repeat guests, to have to see like how it's done in another location, but also how it's done in another season. Like what are the progress I've made compared to the last retreat. And because lifestyle changes take time, it's not something that you just like snap and then boom, it's integrated, and it
Yeah.
takes time. So that's also where the difference is. You go home with some things to set up, and you have the accountability of the group and the friends group that you've created to support you in that.
Very good. Well, for all of you listeners or viewers, if you have any questions, I will put at the end of this episode where you can ask questions, because I think it raises, I'm sure, ideas and questions you will have for Celine. So please feel free to write any questions you have about the topic that we just described. And also, if you're listening into the podcast or Apple Podcast, put in your comment there, or in YouTube, write in your comments there. So we're very happy to respond to you, and that also gives a chance to even answer those questions in another episode. Okay, so that was wonderful ideas about and experience that you have in running the retreats, the Blue Zone retreats. So let's talk a little bit about partnerships. What role do you believe partnerships like with entities like Clinique de la Prairie or celebrity trainers can play in redefining wellness offerings for like the modern consumers?
Yeah, so that's a very interesting question, because and that also includes like the Blue Zones retreat. Like hotels wants to have a better and like more attractive wellness offering. Like how many times do I have people coming and saying they have a like super innovative wellness concept and they're gonna do something that no one's ever seen and they're gonna be the only one, and then I look at it and I'm like, yeah, I've seen that like 100 times already, thank you. And so like so it's and also like I would add that it's also something that like remember like how F&B was like a few years back, where hoteliers were not restaurateurs, they were not F&B people, and it was hard to get some really cool F&B concept at hotels. Now like you have some really cool F&B concepts and some really successful hotel restaurants that are like very successful and very attractive to the local people too. So I think we are at the same kind of era with wellness, where hotels right now don't know how to make cool wellness like experiences and cool spas. And they try to like there's a lot of copy paste, like okay, let's put a pool, a sauna, a steam room, and so there are like these tick boxes, and using like partnerships right now, it's the same as using third parties when like with F&B like a few years back. So it's the quick fix, let's use a name, let's use like a celebrity, something to help us. And I would say like that can solve a part of the problem, but that doesn't solve the overall problem, because it still doesn't help I'm taking the example of Clinique La Prairie. Like it would like at a time I had that every time. I want to do a Clinique La Prairie spa or like a shower wellness, and I think you don't, because it's a clinic, so it comes with doctors, it comes with like medical requirements, legal issues. Like there's a bunch of things that as a hotel you're not ready and you're not equipped to deal with. And so I think it doesn't take away the need for hotels to think thoroughly about their wellness concept, to make something that's relevant for their hotel and their market. So it's not like, and that's the way like wellness is approached these days. It's like, oh, we have a few square meters there, like a few hundred square meters that we can use for the spa, and let's see what we can fit in there. So like I'm taking the approach the other way around, saying, okay, what do you want to provide as a wellness experience? What wellness means to you and to your hotel? And from there, how much square meters do we really need? What infrastructures do we really need to make like a coherent and appealing experience? And so sometimes I see like hotels with spas that are too small for what they could do and they could offer. But I also see spas that are far too big for their market. And so it goes like it goes either ways. And using going back to your initial question about using brands, again, it's something that can help to give credibility, to also like attract outside guests, or like to create like you mentioned Clinique La Prairie or celebrity like trainers. It can also be working with us like a cosmetics brand like Guerlain or Espa, or so it helps to some extent, but I don't think it's like a cookie cutter solution. It really needs to depend. It really depends on the market, on the hotel, on the location, and on what the objectives for wellness are.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I like your analogy about how hotels with the food and beverage concepts and the hotels were not geared that tried to do getting a celebrity chef there and try to do a concept and try to do franchising, and then which area they know nothing about. But now, I mean, the expectations of a hotelier is that you have one of the key aspects besides sustainability and marketing, if you will, is the culinary excellence, and that they partner themselves with either they have a chef with them on board and they jointly create exactly something outstanding, which is suitable for the local environment, where they can use the local products, local farmers, and create something which is, this is the only place where you can get exactly this. So you don't have to import it thousands kilometers away. So I like your analogy, and I can relate to that while we speak about how it should be working. I could be working in the wellness aspects. Yeah. Yeah.
And the same, like a few years back, F&B was a tick box. We need to
Yeah.
have a restaurant to have the star. Spa is the same. We need to have a gym, we need to have a spa. And when I talk about wellness, it's the spa, but it's also the gym. Like, how many times I scream when I see a gym. And I'm like, why all these machines? Like, no one knows how to use like half of them. There's
Yeah.
no coherence in like in how and why they've been chosen. So and it could save actually like a lot of money to owners, to like it could make them a lot like money to have a like well constructed, well thought through wellness concept. But it can also save them money from like like building things that are not used. Like, I saw spa like building like beautiful Turkish hammam with all the marble and beautiful. No one wants to go there because it's not the market for it.
Yeah.
It's in a tropical place, and no one wants to go to a Turkish hammam in this location. They want to have
Yeah.
something more local. So
Yeah.
yeah, it could have saved them a lot of money.
Very good. Well, but you must have done with the Four Seasons in Rabat. You incorporate the local way of doing spas and rejuvenating treatments, so it actually fits the environment, right?
Yeah, so when working on this project, I digged into the traditional Islamic and Arabic medicine, which is very similar to Chinese medicine or Ayurveda. So it's like the like North Africa or like Middle East version of it. And also like to Moroccan like traditions. So we have two beautiful hammams, like Moroccan hammams with like a scrubbing room and like massage room and like a steam room. But the steam room in the Moroccan hammam is not as it's not like steamy, like so steamy or foggy you can't see anything. That's also a difference. Like, people don't know that a steam room, a Moroccan hammam, and a Turkish hammam are completely different things. So we have like a male and a female section, and also the gym we worked with Harley Pasternak is a celebrity trainer in LA. I've worked with him before, and so we built the gym together, and like selecting the machines. And the idea was to really create like a circuit where people can know, like what's the sequencing of the machines you're using. And also we worked on linking that and this physical and movement aspect with the treatments at the spa. And we're also like in Rabat, so we're located next to the ocean. So we integrated like the main pool has seawater in it. We have some water experiences, and we have also like a hot and cold circuit that goes, like after your workout, you go and you have your sequencing and your circuit with the hot and cold therapy. And we went with like a sauna with aromatic herbs, like local. They grow a lot of rosemary on property, so like having these aromatic herbs. We have a steam room and we have a snow room. So you getting the cold through the snow room, which is still effective, but not as harsh as a cold plunge. So yeah, and you have also some like jacuzzi with different temperatures
Yeah.
and some hydrojets in the pool. So the spa is
Okay.
really like it's really wow. Like I worked with designers Atelier Pod on that, and we had calls every single day, like to like put the concept together and like really working together on not just the visual part, but also the operational part, and make sure that the the guest journey is really well thought through. That the treatment rooms, like in each space, is very like functional and easy to use from an operational point of view, and also from a guest perspective. Yeah, you should go and and tell me what you think about it when you have
Well,
a chance.
I'll tell you, you will be surprised. I might be go there because I love Morocco, and we may have a project lining up in Morocco one of these days. So I've been to Rabat, and I know the Four Seasons has been a project that has been going on for quite many years before it actually finally opened, and I'm glad finally it has been
Yeah.
successfully open. And with the way you describe the wellness is sounds really maybe not the right expression, but mouth-watering. Sounds very exciting and intriguing. So definitely have to give it a try. So let's move on to maybe the final questions for this episode, which really relates to there's so many wellness operators around, and then it almost feels like it's like a marketing tool. But how can certification like WELL or other wellness standards generally impact credibility and effectiveness of wellness concepts versus them being perceived as mere marketing tools?
I think again, it goes back to the concept of your property and like your wellness concept, because it can be very useful. Like the well, like a well certification, they have this product called well rooms, and I've seen them. We had them at the Four Seasons in Beverly Hills, where a whole floor was converted into a wellness floor. It's the floor where the pool and the gym are and the spa are. And so these rooms were, so the well rooms, they have like special air filtering system, water filtering. There's this mirror that has like a mood light. It's using like specific hypoallergenic fabrics, like a healthy mini bar, healthy book. So there's a lot of details into these rooms to make them well, and the well certification, it's crazy. Like there's a lot of research behind it around air quality, noise quality, light quality, food, movement, like how to design spaces that encourage people to socialize, to walk, or like to move more, to have like an environment that's healthy, like but not just but healthy, in terms also of the noise and the light, the air, like really like all the aspects of it. And yeah, it's been working really well, and it's like they have some studies where it's actually helped increase the ADR of these rooms, like before and after being transformed into well rooms. One thing that I always wonder is like, if these are well room, why aren't all the rooms well rooms? Like, does it mean I'm not gonna sleep well if I'm sleeping in a non-well room? But so yeah, I would tend to say it would be nice to have them all like
Yeah.
done like that, because we have also done some testing around how it helps jet lag and like sleeping better, etc.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely helps, and it's also like a certification that's more recognized now, and some owners actually require it now. The same way that certification like leads, are used for sustainability. So I think as the this kind of certification are more familiar with the public, they would be very useful to, yeah, they would be very useful for guests to identify what exactly is done outside of the spa, because yeah, wellness is not just what's happening in the spa, it's also, you know, like the overall guest experience, where, like we mentioned F&B before, you know, where is your product sourced, you know, like are they local, are they seasonal, are they, do they have pesticide in them, how is your sleep experience? So again, you know, like defining what are your wellness pillars. And again, it's not breaking science, you know, you need to sleep well, eat well, move every day, connect with people and socialize, and be able to have some rest and me time. So it's not like it's something really like difficult, like it's not complicated, but how do you integrate that at every single touch point of your hotel to create a really authentic and impactful experience for your client? So then you get this glow, you know, like I was mentioning, this glow during the retreat. How do you get that glow from your client, where you could take a picture when the client arrives and when the client departs, and see like how, you know, how they look more relaxed and more happy and more, you know, like excited and motivated.
Very good. Well, thank you, Celine. We will continue our discussion in the world of wellness, and to our listeners, let us know what you'd like to learn more about wellness and how it would help you in your daily life. So send the questions to us. You can write to me, sameriks@gmail.com, and write in the subject line wellness questions, and we will address those in our upcoming episode. So Celine, thank you very much again. As usual, I learned a lot what you've been doing lately, and it's so fantastic insights. And congratulations on these retreats that you're doing. They are welcoming. So I can imagine how you also get a lot out of it. Not only the people who are joining in.
Thank you. I hope you can join one like this, like for 2025. So far in the books, we have Costa Rica again in February, Thailand in May. So Costa Rica, it's at the Andes in Peninsula Papagayo. In May, in Thailand at Kamalaya. And in October, we're back to Okinawa, the Alekulani Hotel. And we have also like other places that will be announced soon. So yeah, join.
Wonderful.
Please join me.
Thank you. Okay, so with these words, we look forward that you all join us in our next episode. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel or to the podcast channel, and to know when we are coming out live again. And also, I will post this in the LinkedIn. And if we haven't connected with Celine or myself on LinkedIn, please do so. That's where you hear when the next episode is coming out. So thank you for tuning in to the Social Hotelier. If you enjoy the episode, please take a moment to leave us a review, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. We have an incredible lineup of guests coming out our way in the future, but we will now focus in the next episode on with wellness, and so we'll look forward to have a further discussion with Celine about the important aspects of wellness. So until next time, see you again.